I gave you an extra 5 minutes because you were talking about operating and capital, so I gave you 10 minutes. So have you wrapped up? Another couple minutes if you need it. Okay, thank you, sir. I'll be asking the service about your deputation. Thank you. Well.
Good morning. Can you hold my time? Can I have a cup of water,
sure,
please?
Just let us know when you're ready.
Yes. Thank you, Diane. Deep breath exercise. I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. All right. So let's start this. My 5 minutes of glory. Thank you, Jim, for the opportunity to meet you at the end of the last board meeting in regards Vision Zero that we're talking today, the 8 additional police officers. We talk about visibility, and 2 days later, Councilor Kathy Lay from Scarborough North, I believe, she, with Peter Young, Inspector Peter Young, were advertising these colorful armbands to make them visible, the seniors. I think it's a proactive idea. But I would like to emphasize my reputation with regards to bike users. There are many visible items that you can find at bike shops or the dollar store as well, such as lighting, glow in the dark globes. And best, you can get it from the Value Village stores these days, a very cheap $2. So we had to promote a cultural change for our seniors, our people in this, they use motorized devices, like scooters, etc., bicycles users specifically. Thank you for the opportunity to take my comments on that regards, off camera, by the way. So number 2, last September, again, Inspector Peter Young, who's not here today, he came to our neighborhood, Regent Park, to talk about the community officers. And I promised him that I was going to ask the board the question that he couldn't answer to me. It was regarding the uniform. I think, like Mr. Sewell says, we have come to speak many times, many years, and we have history on record that we have spoken and the way the uniform reflects to especially members of our youth. It's intimidating. They get scared. They prefer to avoid the police because of their heavily military-style uniform. We had to tone it down so that we can, create those bridges with the community that who you have always spoken in part of the city anti-black racism. Right? It's one of the things that we need to do to how we can do that. We had to tone it down the uniform, just like Inspector McLean. Look at the white T-shirt. I don't feel threatened by it, and I have mental illnesses. I don't. But if I see another uniform, like the guy over there in blue, I feel intimidated. I feel threatened. Anyway, that's the story for another day. With regards the 2 police per car officers, we agree with Mr. Sewell that it should be less. It should be 1 per car, because if the body-worn camera project gets approved, that officers will feel safe. It will protect the reputation of these police services. It will accelerate the removal of bad police officers who are in duty, and speed up those legal cases where he says, she says, I am accused of that, but there is no video evidence. So, another thing I want to talk about, mental health. Oh my God, mental health is so part of the conversation these days. We have an interesting conversation with Councilor Christine Montan in my community. As you probably are aware, the downtown east has 32% of people are are being with drug overdoses. So we have a really serious problem in downtown East. So regarding the community officers, again, what I would like to encourage and motivate the police officers is to use compassion. Compassion as you deal with people. Because you have no idea, many of these people who are in the streets right now, they were before good people. Before they fall into the cracks of society, they become, addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, and they lose control of their lives. I want to bring something to you important. These posters. It says 75% of all suicides in Canada are men. So you need to, please, community police officers, treat all the men with special compassion and care. And please refer them to them when they find themselves having trouble getting back to their families. We have to practice more mediation. We need to practice more parent sharing. But again, this is a topic for another day. Give me another minute, please. I know that you...
Ask you to wrap up.
Okay, thank you. With regards to the body cameras, I would like to see implemented with the Toronto Community Housing Corporation officers, the CSU officers, and the TTC special transfer fare inspectors, because we need to have them accountable as well. Because you know what happened last February when it's shameful that one kid got arrested for $2.25. And that's what I can say today. I got so many things to say, but I don't think I have more time today. But I did my best.
Okay, thank you. We well appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I bring the staff back, please?
You have a hot seat.
Okay, we'll take this into committee now.
I got free water.
Questions?